All right, welcome everyone to webinar number 2 out of 3 out of the series, and the series is Ignite Your Speaking Success in 2019. And today is all about how to turn on a constant flow of leads, clients, and cash. So we are going to get started right now. I'm going to share my screen. Make sure you have a pencil and paper to take notes because I'm going to turn on the fire hose tonight. And what I'm going to share with you tonight, it can make you as much money as you want. And I'm going to show you exactly how. I'm going to give you that speaking strategy that will help you to make money. And I know some of you, it might not be about the money. It's about making a difference. And it's the same thing. You can make a difference. You can make money. You could make both, whatever you want to do. And you could change lives for a living. That's what public speaking does, is change lives for a living. I don't know about you, but I love changing lives. And guess what? Not only lives, businesses, and even souls. Yes, you can change someone's heart. So stay tuned. All right, let's share my screen. And share. All right, we're going to get started right here. Just a moment. I've got to move something over so I can see. There we go. There we go. It was covering what I needed to do, and that was the slideshow. Awesome. All right, so I hope you can all hear me good. And if I have time tonight, I'm going to turn the video around, and I'm going to bring some of you in on the video. So if I forget, though, remind me, because I want to see you and see your faces and everything like that. Okay. Oh, Ivan's here. Ivan and Charlotte's here. Hi, honey. How are you? Good to see you. And Sue's here. Sue Kabuki. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So people just keep coming in. Great. Super, super, super. Good job. All right. So I'm going to get that box set over there. I'm going to, hold on just a minute before I get started. I'm going to get my chat box up there so I can see when you have a chat. Good job. All righty. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your messages. Hi, True. Welcome. All right. So now I'm all in position here. Okay. So we are going to talk about how to turn on a constant flow of leads, clients, and cash tonight. So many of you, I mean, most all of you know me, and so I'm not going to share my story again. If you want to know how I got into public speaking, it's on the first recording. But I do want to share this, that even though I started in corporate America, and I started speaking in corporate America, so that's like over 30 years ago that I've been speaking and training. And when I was in corporate America, I trained systems work. And that's why I do systems and create systems now for speaking. So it's all interrelated. And it's like God knew what he was doing, right? Because I didn't plan on being a public speaker. There were other things I wanted to be or thought I wanted to be. So, you know, here's doing exactly what he wanted me to do. But one thing I did want to share is that I have given over 3,500 speeches globally. I've been all over the world, not every continent, but several I don't know, 10 continents or something like that. And I've trained over 5,000 business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches. I've even trained a bishop, yes, a bishop who wanted to make sure that his message was landing on his audience, to make sure that when he did his altar call that he was persuasive enough that more people would come. I mean, how cool is that? And I've trained brigadier generals. I mean, these are people that are screaming orders all day long. But this one guy in particular wanted to come out. He was retired and he wanted to teach leadership. So I've trained all kinds of different people in different modes and modalities, and you know, it's just been incredible. And I've hosted over 700 live events. I do a big live event once a year called $1 Million Speaker Summit. And then, of course, I have my speaker training live events as well. So 30 years. I just celebrated 16 years in business. Can you believe it? I mean, I have worked longer for myself than any other employer, you know, and I have a pretty good boss, I have to say. You know? So again, I don't say all these things to brag or anything, but just to let you know that there's a lot of experience. I have a lot of experience, and you're going to run into other kind of, maybe speaking coaches, and just find out what their experience truly is. All right, so we're going to get started. So that's a little bit about me. Now tonight, what you're going to discover is how do you speaking to generate leads. So this is going to be kind of a business conversation tonight, and the fastest way to see, what do I mean by that? The fastest way to see you wants you. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but the fastest way to get what you want, I guess. Let's just say that. All right. So how to build your database and your text list, which is really important for upcoming, the world upcoming, visibility is the text list, and how audiences have changed over the years, because I don't care if you've taken a speech class in high school or in college, it has changed. It's changed. It's different. All right, so you don't have to throw that knowledge out, but you constantly have to get new knowledge, and it's changed because we've changed. The audiences have changed. People have changed. Technology's changed. Everything's changed about it. So if you've gone to some of these other classes in the past, I'm not going to mention any names, but it's time to get a little upgraded training. All right, so. And what one client is worth to you. So you're going to discover what one client is worth to you. We're going to do some numbers tonight. I hope you're not afraid of numbers, but we're going to do some numbers. So you might want to get out your calculator too, or use your phone. And the importance of systems in your business, and particularly speaking systems. So that's a little bit of what we're going to cover tonight. We're going to cover a lot more. And of course, my goal is to not only give you some great training, but to have some fun. Now, I want you to participate. So if you'll get ready and use your chat box so that you can participate. I'm going to be asking questions. I'm going to be asking for feedback. And so this is interactive. So if you want to have fun, put fun. Just put fun in the chat box. Let me know that you can type in if you're calling in, or if you can't find the chat. Well, I guess you can't let me know that you can't find the chat, but it is at the bottom of your screen. Just hover. All right. So fun. Ready when you are. Awesome. Great. Now I think should have can everybody see each other's? Just let me know, because I think it just says all panelists, and I really want it to be on everyone. Oh, let me change it then. Okay, so I'm going to say all panelists and all attendees, so you can see each other too and what you're saying. All right? Very cool. Okay, let me see. Okay, fun. Okay, good. Excellent. I'm glad you want to have fun. I feel like if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. And that's how I've lived my life. If it's not fun, I'm not doing it. So good for you. Let's make it fun. All right, let's go on. Okay, so get ready, get set, go. We are going. Woohoo! All right, so the first question you might be asking, and some of you maybe already know, but if you're asking, well, why add public speaking to my business? Remember, tonight we're going to talk primarily about business and how to get clients and leads and cash and that kind of thing. But just know, whenever you speak, you're going to be making a difference as well. So why should you add it to your business? Why? Here's why. Because it's the key to selling. It's the key to selling. Visibility is the key to selling. If you are the best kept secret, no one's going to buy from you. If people don't know you, you know what? In corporate America, we used to have a saying, people buy from people they know, like, and trust. How many of you have heard that? Have you heard that? Put in the chat box. I've heard that. But I say that's not true anymore. Remember, people have changed, audiences have changed. Do you hear that noise? Does anybody hear that noise? That's my boxers. I have two little boxers, and well, I don't know, little 60 pounds. And one has something the other one wants. So they're kind of like growling. So come on, you guys. What? Come on. Anyway, we'll get them I'll introduce you in a little bit. So So visibility is key. If you're the best kept secret, nobody's going to buy your stuff. Nobody's going to buy from you. So you have to get out in front of people. Now, this is key. If you want more leads, more sales, more cash, you need to get in front of more people. Period. That's it. That's it. That is the secret sauce. That's the answer. If you wanted the answer, you can run with that answer now, and you don't even have to stay if you don't want to. That is the answer, right? And I'm telling you, this works. It works. I'm going to prove it to you right now that public speaking can be and should be your only marketing strategy that you'll ever need to use. That's it. Okay, nothing else. No more Facebooking, no more LinkedIning, no more of that stuff that barely works, no more picking up the phone and making those calls. You can just speak. How exciting is that? All right, so let me see. Okay. Yes, all right. What did you hear before, Ramona? That it's key to visibility? Write what you think. And you might have probably heard it from me because you have been one of my longtime students. All right. So next, public speaking creates the leads, the clients, and the cash. And we're going to talk about leverage. It works so well because you're leveraging your time and you're getting in front of more people. So instead of one-to-one, you're doing one-to-many. And that's why it works so well. Okay. All right, you guys, come on. You're making too much noise. You're having too much fun with that. Come here, Zeus. Come. Come on, baby. Okay, come on, Zoe. Okay, come and meet everybody. Come on. Zoe, come. She's the shy one. Zoe's the shy one. Do you see her? Look at this little face. Is this the cutest thing you ever saw? Is it the cutest? This is Zoe. Yes. They're 6 years old, and Zeus, her brother, will come up here in a minute. So if you think she's the cutest dog in the world, put cutest dog, a cutie. All right, so leverage. Now, what we want to do, how do we leverage? All right, so one-to-many, and now let's do some math. All right, is everybody ready to do some math? Say, I'm ready to do some math. I'm not seeing any comments. All right, ready to do some math. So get out your calculator. Ready? Okay, thank you. Ready? Awesome. I'm ready to do some math. Awesome. Thank you. Ready? You can do it in your head. Okay, smart. Good. But you know what? There's an impact when you write it down and when you see it. So I would recommend, even though you can do the math in your head, write it down because you're going to be amazed at what you're going to see next. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Now imagine you speak one time per week. One time. That's all. That's all I'm asking you to do. Could you do that? If you could speak at least once a week, put yes. Now, it could be a live. It could be a webinar. It could be a seminar. It could be a teleclass. Anything more than a couple of minutes. It's not an elevator speech or a self-introduction. Something at least 5 minutes or more. Could you do a little showcase at your networking event? Yes. Right, Paul? Yes. Could you? Yes. The answer is yes. So one time. That's all. It's like I've already spoke twice today. So it's easy. You can do it. Now I'm going to show you how to get speaking engagements next week, which is key. All right. So one speaking engagement per week. Now, let's say that the audience size is 25. That's an average size of a networking group. It could be 20, it could be 30, but that's average size. You did it 4 times a month. That's 100 more people that you're in front of than you would have been, right? See, if we go to networking events, which is great. I love networking events. Love them, love them, love them. I lead 2 groups myself. And when you go, you might meet 2 people, 1 on each side of you as you eat. You might meet a couple other people afterwards. 5 usually is about all you'll meet in a networking event. But when you speak, you get to meet all 25 in a sense because they meet you. So 25 times 4, that's 100 new people. Now, because this is mathematical, this could change. So if you up this number, right, this number is going to change. It's going to go up too, right? Or this number, maybe you're going to speak in front of a group of 50, a group of 100, a group of 80. right? Then this number is going to change. All right. Now let's say you're going to do it 10 months out of the year. Why 10 months? Because let's face it, a lot of people check out in December because there's so much to do. A lot of people, they're gearing back up in January because it's the new year. Now, here's my secret, all right? One of my secrets to my success. I do not slow down in December. And therefore, I do not have to rev up again in January. See, the reason why people have to rev up in their business is because they took a lot of time off in December. They traveled, maybe they went back east and saw family. And if that's you, that's great. Fabulous. Do that, right? But sometimes we get stuck in kind of like everybody else. Everybody else seems like they're kind of relaxed. So we're like, oh yeah, let's go have coffee. Let's go to this, office party. Let's go. And we start getting lazy. I know it's happened to me. Maybe it doesn't happen to you, but it happens to me. So I don't do that anymore, right? I still can get in holiday cheer, and still keep the momentum of my business. And that way in January, I could still hit the ground running and I don't lose 2 months out of my year. And some people do. So be careful. Be careful getting too lackadaisical in December. Instead, come to classes like this, right? And start learning and studying. If you don't have the business, that's when you want to start investing in yourself. That's when you want to take the training as well. December is always a great time to take training. Now, I'm not selling training, so I'm not saying it. I'm saying it from a business coaching point of view. It's always a good idea to buy somebody's course in December. Now, Paul I don't know if you're still an accountant now. I know you have your own business, but Paul was an accountant. And right, Paul, that you get to write off that amount of money in December, and it still counts for your next taxes, and yet you just spend it. So in December, I'm always looking for my next mentor, always looking for my next class. What is it that I want to improve on? And I get a coach to do that. I mean, why wouldn't you? If I want to improve on my food or my diet or my exercise, I get a coach. I finished my book last year because I got a coach. Oh, and I brought a copy of my book, Speak Up, Get Clients, which is very apropos for what we're talking about tonight. So I wouldn't have had any of those things accomplished if I hadn't hired a coach. So coming back to this, so I'm going to give you those 2 months off. And so you're going to work 10 months, 100 people, that's 1,000 new people in a year. Most of you aren't even in front of 1,000 new people in your whole career maybe. So 1,000 more people know your name, know what you do, and know your business. How cool is that? Say, that's cool, right? And again, this number can change because these two numbers can change. And when they go up, this goes up. All right. Now, let's just say how many hot leads, because it's all about the hot leads. How do you get clients? You got to get leads first, right? So let's say if you were trained and you knew how to bring these out like a magnet, right? So that you go blah, 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 but it brings people out like a magnet. Then you could get 5 hot leads. Now, these are people that came to you at the end of your speech. These are not just people you had to seek out. These are people that came up to you and said, Paul, I want your business card. Let's connect. I want to know more about what it is you do. Or, Charlotte, I want your coffee. I need that product. I drink coffee all the time and it keeps me up at night. I grit my teeth, whatever. I need healthy coffee. And they come to you. How cool is that? I think it's just so super cool. I just wait at the end of my presentation and wonder who's going to come. Now you got to wait because sometimes they're talking to other people, but they will be there. So 5 hot leads. So 5 times, the 4 times you're going to speak, that's 20 hot leads. Now 20 times 10, the 10 months you're going to do this, that's 200 people. 200 hot leads. Hot leads. Now, it's up to you, whatever your sales process is. Is it a strategy session, discovery session? Is it over coffee? Do you go to their house and go knee to knee? Whatever that process is, we're not going to talk about sales today, but whatever that process is, you should be able, if you're doing a good process, close at least 3 of those 5 for the business. So 3 times 4 is 12. In 1 month, 12 new clients. Right? Think about that. 12 new clients in 1 month times 10 months. That's 120 clients. 120 clients. Are you getting this? Do you get how much that is? How big that is? This works for everybody. All right. It's not like, oh, Arvee, it works for you. No, I've taught this to over 5,000 people, this strategy. And it works. It works when you do it consistently. That's another secret sauce because it's like fitness. Now, my fitness trainer tells me if I don't work out for 2 weeks, I lose my fitness. 2 weeks, right? Same with speaking. If you don't speak, now I don't say 2 weeks, I say 2 months. If you don't speak for 2 months, you've lost your speaking fitness. You've lost the flow. You've lost the technique. You've gotten rusty. So don't let that happen to you. That's like having to rev up all over again, having to look at your notes instead of improving. Just think if you didn't take that time off, how good you would be. Every speech you get better and better and better every single time you speak. So 120. Now we're not done with the numbers. I hope you're writing this down because now I want to know what is 1 new client worth to you. 1 new client. So who wants to share in the chat box what 1 client is worth to you? Now 1 transaction. If you're in real estate, that could be $10,000. Right? So what is 1 transaction? 1 transaction. Yeah, write it in the chat box. Right? Keep going. I'm not seeing anything yet. All right, write it in the chat box. What is 1 client worth to you? 5,000, 200. What is it? We're going to play with these numbers. All right, so write in the chat box. If you don't know where the chat box is, just kind of hover over the bottom of your screen and you will see the chat box. All right. Okay, we have a couple call-ins. Hello, call-ins. You can't chat in the chat box, but write down that number for yourself anyway. All right, we got one. Okay, $3,000, $3,500, to anywhere from $200 to $1,900. I love it. Let's go with a bigger number. Kathy, go with a bigger number for our calculation, the $1,900 number. All right, now there's more of you. Please, put it in there because we can, I'm going to show you where I'm going with this. All right, here we go now. So now let's take that, 3,000, that's easy to calculate. $3,000 times 120. I'm going to get my calculator. What is that? 3,000, whoever has it first. Write it in there. So 3,000 times 120 is 300 and yeah, Michael, you had it right. Good. $360,000 a year, right? Now I know you're probably not making that kind of money now, but you can. It's potential, and you did it in your head. Good for you. Now, whatever that number is, so if we did, Kathy, we said 1,900 times 120, then it's $228,000. And we could go on and on and on. Okay, so Ramona, just changing to listen on the phone because you're driving. Okay, good. All right, so no chatting. Okay, Ramona, thank you. Drive safe, right? Don't let me say anything that's going to distract you. You might want to pull over. All right. So 1 new client. Now, that's just 1 year. What about the life of a client? Because don't your clients come back to you over and over again? Maybe not every year. If you're selling real estate, they might buy, 5 houses in their lifetime? But don't they come back to you because you treated them well? Absolutely. So what is the life of the client? Now, if you don't know what the life of the client is, simply add a 0. So now for Michael, it's 3,600,000. So the life of the client, because your clients are going to keep coming back over and over again if you treat them right. So this is what we're talking about. Now, this is why you need to get serious and learn how to speak and do it right. This can happen to you. Now, when someone tells me, oftentimes they'll come up and they're not trained and they'll say, oh, I spoke yesterday. I ask them, how many leads did you get? Nothing. Crickets. right? How many sales did you make? Nothing, right? Don't do that. You're missing out. Not only are you missing out, but people are missing out because your inability to persuade and to encourage them to come and talk to you afterwards, it's costing not only you an opportunity, but it's costing them because obviously those people in the room need you. They need you to, in their suffering, they need you to get better. They need the investment, whatever it might be. So you're doing a disservice to them. So you need to learn how to do it and do it right and be available so that people can get more of you. Because otherwise, why speak? Right? Why speak to blow wind? No, we're speaking to make a difference in the lives of others and to be of service, right? To give overwhelming value. So, but at the same time, we might be opening up somebody's heart in which they need more of us, maybe more of us to heal. Remember, your words will either sell or repel. They will either heal or kill. So that's why we have to be very, very careful in what we say and how we say it. All right. So what is one client worth to you? And now you know, the life of the client, don't forget, it's just a ton of money. All right. Now this is Pete. Pete's my accountant, actually. And he's a bookkeeper. I have another tax account, but he's my bookkeeper accountant. And I taught him these concepts, and he went out to speak, and I taught him how to create a persuasive presentation. And he went out and spoke to his chamber. I don't know, there's probably about 60 people in the room. And and I asked him, I was in the room when he spoke, but then afterwards I asked him, and he was, it was at the end of the year, and he was looking for more tax clients. He said he got 8 tax returns, 8 of them. And I asked him, and a tax return for him was about $1,000. But guess what? The life of the client. I mean, how many times have you changed your tax accountant? I mean, I might have changed mine once or twice through my whole business career, and I just changed it from my personal. Once I got into business, I got a different one. I mean, that I've had for at least 15 years, right? So what is the life of your client? It's so important to figure that out and calculate it. And now, Pete has 8 new clients, and then he's got a couple, he upsold them for some other things like bookkeeping as well and payroll and things like that. So accountants aren't known for their elegancy in speaking, right? Oh, excuse me. I get so excited sometimes I spit, but that's okay, right? But they're not known to be so eloquent. So if he can do it, we can do it, right? You can do it. So touch your heart right now and say, I can do this. I can do this. Absolutely, you can. I believe in you. All right. Okay, good. All right. So I hope, True, you're laughing at me saying I was spitting on myself. Okay, so now that's leverage. So that's just a little bit of leverage, right? The E is for expert. It works so well, and those clients come out because it positions you as an expert in your field. Now, if there is 5 real estate people sitting in one room and one of them was speaking, it's the one that's speaking is the expert. The others are amateurs in the eyes of your audience because they don't know. And they just see the expert speaking. And not only does it position you as an expert, but it positions you as a celebrity. There was one time recently I was speaking to a big group of people, and I was in the audience. I came early, and I always do what I teach, and that's come early, meet people, greet people, be out there in amongst the audience, eat with them. Don't be one of these speakers that just says, oh no, I can't eat. Get over it. Because you're missing an opportunity to bond and to build rapport with at least a few people at your table. And I'm telling you from experience, they're the people that are going to buy from you. That person that's next to you. Or if it's a seminar and you come in and there's an odd number and you need to participate with someone, when you participate with them, if it's a breakout session or something, I'm telling you, that person is the one person that's going to buy. So don't be a prima donna. It's okay to be a celebrity. Just don't be a prima donna speaker, because it'll cost you and it'll cost them. Remember, because you're there to help them. You're there to save somebody's life, their business, or their soul. And if you're not there, building rapport with them, then that's not going to happen. So eat, learn how to eat. I can eat a 5-course meal and dessert. I mean, it doesn't matter. And get up and speak. I mean, you don't have to eat a heavy load, but you can eat. You can learn how to do it. I love to eat anyway. So I've never missed a meal. Anyway, positioned you as an expert. So here I'm at this event, and I'm early. And this woman came and talked to me, and she's talking and talking and talking. And then, it was time to sit down. We sat in different spots. And then a few minutes after that, I got up and spoke. Well, at the end of my presentation, she runs over to me and she's like, "Oh my God, I didn't know I was talking to a celebrity." So you are going to be that in the eyes of your audience. You are going to be that authority, that expert. So that's why it works so well to pull out those leads. All right. Oh, this is Janice. I love her. She was in one of my audiences, and I was in San Diego. I was speaking at a John Arasaroff organization, and she was sleeping. She was nodding off. It was at night, and I was really close. Just that little devil, that sometimes sits on your shoulder. That little devil said, "Ooh, call her on it, call her. Have somebody hit her and wake her up." But I didn't. And at the end of my talk, she came up to me, literally, and asked me about my programs. And I was selling, at that time, I was selling a smaller program. But she asked about speaker training, and she signed up for my $4,000 speaker training. Had I called her on it? Probably not, right? Anyway, but here's what I love about her. What I found out is she does commercial cleaning at night. And so that's why she was very tired. And she went to my training. She gave 2 presentations that are worth $11,300 per month with her cleaning. Can you imagine? That more than paid for my speaker training per month. One client, 11,000. So if we did 11,300 times 12 in 1 year, one client, that's $135,000, one client. Of course, she has a team of people that work for her as well. But I'm telling you, another gal that I know came up to me at the end of my talk, another talk I did in San Diego, Women's Wisdom, and she runs up to me and she says, Arvee, I just want to let you know that after I took your training, I make $60,000 a month. $60,000 a month. I don't know about you. That's pretty darn good. So if you did 60,000 times 12, right? That's $720,000 a year. So this works. It works. I have lots of clients that will share that with you. Okay. So let's come back to leverage. Now, why does it work? Again, it positions you as an expert. We know that. Positions you as an expert also before you ever show up. But you got to get in front of the right audience, the target market, your target market. You're going to make the $700,000 when you're in front of the right market. So if your market is women, but you're going to high schools to speak, or you're going to chambers that have 50% men and 50% women, you're not going to get those 5 leads. You might get 2. You might get 3, but maybe 2, right? So the more you're in front of your niche, your very narrow niche, the more you will get. So what does that mean? If your target market is women, but you're going to speak to men and women, all it means is you have to speak twice as much to get that same result. So what, right? You speak twice a week instead of once. Can you do that? Yes. You're going to love speaking. You're going to love it because it's like you get endorphins, right? When you exercise and you run, you get that endorphins and you just feel really good, or you eat chocolate and you just kind of feel euphoric. Well, that's what speaking will do. when you do it right and you see the results of the audience and you see people clapping or you see them laughing or you see them, coming up to you at the end of your talk, oh, there is nothing greater than that feeling. Not a lot of things beat that. Anyway, audiences have changed. I promised that I would tell you how they changed, and they have, because technology's changed. Everything has changed. We don't get an hour anymore to speak. We don't get 45 minutes. The speaking time is getting less and less and less. Why? Because of untrained, boring speakers. People just can't stand it anymore. In the old days, right back in the 70s, you could sit and listen and be lectured by somebody, right? And most of you probably did, but we didn't have things back then to distract us like cell phones. We didn't have the babysitter, or now I think it's so funny. How many of you go to restaurants and you see a family at a table and they're not talking to each other? They're on their phone. I mean, this is craziness. And that's what you're competing with when you speak. You're competing with the phone. So that's why you have to have more audience participation than ever. Now, audiences have changed. Remember the 70s, we would have an hour. You could lecture, people would be nice and sit there and listen. And then in the 80s, audiences started getting restless and they said, yeah, we don't want that. We want more of a presentation. We want kind of more of a show, right? And so then you'd see speakers come and be bigger than life and very unauthentic. And then audiences said, well, we don't want that. And so back in the 90s, they said, we want a conversation. We want the speaker to talk to us. And that's where we first started hearing things like speak from the heart. But the only problem with that is speakers started to wing it, right? They didn't respect their audience enough. They thought that in order to be authentic, that meant that they don't rehearse, they don't, plan on what they're going to say. And what would happen is they would just ramble with no point and no purpose, giving their audience nothing and no rapport building and no real connection. It did the opposite of what they wanted to do. So audiences got tired of that. And they started to say that they wanted more of an experience. And that's where we are now. Audiences want more of an experience. They want to be in the presentation with you. That's why even on webinars, I want you to be in this presentation. That's why I love the video. That's why I love the chat. They want to be part of that presentation. They want to know, just be in it, involved and all of that. So you really, today, have to really hone in on audience participation techniques. More than questions or breaking out with each other. You've got to do it. You've got to bring them in. So, but let me tell you where it's going, because this is all I do is public speaking training. I am either speaking or training someone to speak or writing new programs myself. I'm in the middle of writing a pilot program, which is an online program. I have been kicking and screaming for 5 years, even though my coaches are saying, you got to create, I'm like, how can you learn how to speak online? But here you are learning. So I finally gave in, so I'm creating a package. I'll be launching that in January. So take a quick look at that. The pilot will be really inexpensive. And then, because the pilot is where I'm going to ask you for feedback, right? What did you think? So if that's something you're interested in, just send me an email. And because I'm only going to have 10 people that are really, really interested, that really want to give me feedback and go through the program. So just email me at Arvee, ARVEE, at arveerobinson.com. And I'll send you more information. Okay, so where are the audiences going? Where is it going? Now, not only do I keep up on the trends, but I set a lot of them, right? I've been doing this a very, very long time. And so I've started, setting, or not started, but I've been setting some trends over the years. Anyway, this is where it's going, and that's naked authenticity. And what that means is for you to be real. No more be politically correct. I hope you can all see that I have been very real with you tonight. I spit, slobbered, whatever, my dogs are here. People want you to be real. In the old days, it was Miss Professional. right? You had to, wear that coat and that suit and things like that. And I'm not saying that you don't wear that on stage. Absolutely. Speakers should always be dressed above their audience. But what I'm saying is we don't have to be so rigid anymore. We can be people and still be speakers, still give value. But that doesn't mean you don't rehearse or practice. Absolutely you do. But you can be honest about who you are. You don't have to be politically correct, right? So I'm a Christian, right? I believe in God. I believe in baby Jesus, right? I'm so excited that his birth is right around the corner. And I can say that I'm not preaching to you. You can, and I know Michael's Jewish. Awesome. Jesus was king of the Jews. That's not why I say it. I say it because you can do that nowadays. You can do it. And you don't have to say source, right? You can come out and say, I'm Jewish, or I'm Catholic, or I'm whatever you are, and it's okay, and you will be loved and accepted. And it could go beyond that. It doesn't have to be about your faith. It can be, I'm a dog lover. Oh, let me tell you, dogs are right up there. There's God, and then my husband, and then dogs. I'm telling you, that's how much I love them. And sometimes it's God, dogs, and my husband, because sometimes he's in the dog house, right? But that's how much I love dogs. So whatever it is you love and you're passionate about, work it into your presentation. If you like golf, tell people, because there's going to be other people that just love golf. Whatever it is, be real, be who you are, be authentic. And when you do use techniques, you want to look at speakers, right? But you want to use your own techniques. Be real. Don't steal from other speakers. So I remember I had one of my students started using That's Cool. And so I called them up. I said, that's not cool to use somebody's That's Cool. Come up with your own. Come up with the idea that you need a signature move and make one your own. And guess what? It'll come naturally. But I didn't sit there and go, I need a signature move. What should I do? Just one day it came out, and I've been using it ever since. And I had another guy, speaker that I know, tell me, oh, Arvee, you shouldn't go down on That's Cool, right? That's cool. And so I tried it his way, like going, that's cool. And it didn't work. It wasn't authentic, right? So I tried it, but it didn't work. So watch speakers, borrow ideas from them, but always come up with your own strategy, your own move, whatever it might be. Same with audience participation. So be yourself, in other words, be real. Otherwise, it's not going to feel right? Okay. Enough about that. Enough said. All right. Database. The D stands for database. You must build your database. The database still is the #1 way to get people to your webinars and get people into your room. Now, write down there how many of you are here because of email or because of Facebook. All right? Write in the chat box what got you here. Was it an email, or was it Facebook or LinkedIn or some of the social media? So tell me that way. All right? Both. Okay, true. Great. You saw it both places. Okay, email. Awesome. Good. All right, keep going. Keep writing. All right, we want to hear from you, Kathy and Jewel. We want to hear from you. All right, Sue, are you at a place that you can type in? You might be at your office now, but I hope you're not driving. Maybe you're driving. But if you can, hover over the bottom and put it in the chat box. Okay, so the database is so important. So you want to do a free raffle, gather business cards, put them in the raffle, give away something for free, and be building that database every single time you speak. Every single time. All right, but there's a new technology, of course, on the rise, and that is cell phones. So here's how it works. And this is exactly what you want to say to your audience. And I want all of you to do it right now so you can see what it's like, and you can get on my list, see what happens, see what your audience are going to experience. So you take out your phone, tell everybody, okay, take out your phone. Yes, now you have permission to take out your phone. You don't have permission to do Facebook, but just take it out and listen for the next instruction. Hold it up in the air. So you're guiding your audience through this. And then you tell them, right? Type in the number. So with the 2, where the TO is, type in 71441. Now everyone do that. on this webinar. Go ahead. Michael, go ahead and do it. True, go ahead and do it. And then the message part where you would put in somebody's message, type in my name. Now, do that now and then tell me what you get back, all right? So go ahead and do this and you'll end up on my text list. You can always say stop. I don't abuse it. I just send out a tip a month. Big whoop, right? Can you a little tip, little connection from me? All right, so go ahead and put that in the chat box. The first person that tells me what it is, all right, I'm going to give us a treat. First person. Oh, the number again, please. It's right on your screen. Okay. Oh, well, I could say the number 71441. So if you're listening, 71441. That's the number you would type in as if you were typing in a phone number. Then in the message, put my name. All right. So go ahead and do that now. And the first person, tell me that you've done it. Tell me. All right. Are you all, I'm going to get a drink of tea while you're doing that. All right. Okay, done. Okay, Keka, thank you. What was the message, Keka, that you got? Type in the message that came. Okay, Kathy, you want to be speaking? You want to be, yes, well, I can help you. This is the first step. A speaking superstar. Awesome. Good for you. That's a good goal. Let's set that goal for 2019. All right. I know. Okay, so that's what it says. I want to be a speaking superstar. Perfect. All right. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to send the both of you a little treat when we're done, as long as I have your email. All right. And true, you too. Okay. So, oh, I forgot. Okay, great. Excellent. So that's exactly what it says. Now, the last part of this is systems, and we're right on schedule. I'll have you out of here in 10 minutes. Systems are so critical. I can't tell you. Now, when I got out of corporate America and I came to this planet, I'm going to say, there were no speaking systems out there at all. I looked and looked and looked. There wasn't. And so I didn't want to recreate the wheel, but the closest thing I found to a system was have a beginning, middle, and end. But no one ever told you what to put in that beginning, middle, or end. So I decided I was going to tell you. Because see, when you have systems, then you could teach it. So all of you have some sort of system that you're using. Maybe it's for follow-up. Maybe it's for getting clients or coaching sessions. Whatever it is, you're using a system. So put that system in a grammatic form, and you can teach other people. So let me get a couple of mine to show you. All right. Well, okay. Oh, here they go. Okay. So, like, if you could put it in a graphic form, you know, like a flow chart form. This is my live event system. This is to market live events, and then I have my speaker system. So there's lots, I have lots and lots and lots of systems, and my speaker system also, to know everything, is in the back of my book, right? It's in the back of my book. Now, Paul, the book that you have, because you came to my book launch, was the first rendition. It doesn't have this. So next time I see you, I'll bring you a new copy that's been even edited even a little bit more, and you'll have that system in there. But Paul's gone through my 4-day and my year-long mastermind program, so you've got it. You got the system. Okay, anyway, systems are so important because they create the same results. You could get the same results that I get, the same results that Pete got, right? Every time you go out and speak by using this system. It is guaranteed, guaranteed. Okay, so Michael Gerber, I hope you've read this book, it's awesome, says systems, what does he say? Systems permit ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. Ordinary people, that's you and me, you know, average people, to achieve extraordinary results. Oh, here's all my systems, a picture of all my systems. Okay, very cool. Now, so I did this. Now, let me share with you part of my system. So now I'm using my speaker system, right? Then guess what I did next, right? I used another system. So I made over $100,000 in one weekend, and I've done it repeatedly because I used my system for speaking, and I gathered the cards, put them in my database, got into other people's rooms, right? Got them into my room. See, that whole thing is a system. I went, spoke to other people's rooms, gathered the database, gathered the text list, and then I got those people into my room. Whether your room is a webinar room or a live room, it doesn't matter. You're in my room right now, right? That's where you can really help people and transform them. That's where you can really make a difference. So that's what you want to do. And here's a couple of my rooms. I was looking the other day, Paul, to see, so I know you've been in my room many, many times, but I'm not sure these particular rooms yet you're in. But I'll have to find one and put it on for next time. Okay, so let me talk about Jenny. Jenny came to an event of mine. And Jenny, she's right here. Jenny this isn't my room, but this is a room. I jumped ahead of myself. And she wanted to be this speaker, right? So then she came to one of my events. She signed up for my year-long program. She went through the speaker training. She got certified. She got trained. And then whammo. Okay, she ends up being one of the speakers at one of the biggest events in her industry. You see, she's an esthetician. She does facials, right? So you could see that's proof it works for everyone. Right? You don't have to be, Joe business person, doing just coaching or consulting. Yeah, she's an esthetician, for heaven's sakes. And they just are not out there speaking very often. Now, so I encouraged her to create her own room, right? She's a guest in somebody else's room here. I encouraged her to create her own room. She created her own workshop, right? A little 2-hour workshop. And she was only making $600 by charging the door, right? $90 or $100 to come in or whatever, right? And she had capacity for about 6 people. I helped her through this training, my training, turn that into a $6,000 workshop, right? Now I'm going to tell you how next time. Next week, I'm going to tell you exactly what we did so you can know how to do it. But, she just wasn't thinking big enough and wasn't thinking complete. And so I opened her eyes to what was possible. And now she's doing it over and over again. 6 people, $6,000, woohoo! Not bad for 2 hours of training. All right, and just know, right, this is my saying, everything that you want is out of your comfort zone, or you would already have it. Think about that. Everything that you want is outside. Maybe the body that you want is outside your comfort zone because you don't want to work out that hard, right? Everything. Maybe you want to make more money, but you're not. Why? Because it's out of your comfort zone. Either the money, either your money thermometer needs to move. Maybe your mindset. Now, Sue Kabuki on this call, she deals with mindset all the time, day in and day out. Right? So maybe your mind has to shift a little bit or open up a little bit, right? You can reach out to Sue for that. The other thing I always share is this. For everything that you get, you have to give up something. So if you want to work out in the morning, you might have to give up sleep. If you want to work with that book coach and write your book faster, you've got to make an investment and give up some money, right? So for everything you want, you've got to give up something, right? So give it up, right? Give it up to get. But guess what? You always get tenfold because you get what you want and you get what you desire. And once you learn something, you can never unlearn it. So Paul and Susan in my mastermind right now, what they've learned, they've been using for years, right? For years and years, it's made them money, all right? Now, again, I'm not selling anything today, but I'm just really, my goal here is to encourage you to speak. Whether you get trained by me or trained by somebody else, that's irrelevant. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to encourage you to get trained. Public speaking is something that needs to be respected. It's not something that you want to just go out there haphazardly and try to do on your own. And if you've had training, you got to get retrained, for heaven's sakes. It's like the financial industry, right? It's like law. Don't you want your attorney to be up on the latest law? You don't want him to have law training 20 years ago and not up on current laws and trends, for heaven's sakes. I wouldn't. Same with public speaking. Respect it. There's no such thing as a born speaker. Naturally born. That is no. Forget that. Get that out of your head. And here, I'll prove it. Because if your little girl or your little boy, when he was like 5 or 6, showed signs of being a singer and maybe a child prodigy or whatever, and they're out there, what's the first thing you're going to do? Put them in class, right? You just don't leave them with that talent and undevelop it. Immediately they get in class and they get with the best of the best trainers and mentors. Same with if you're ice skating or whatever, right? You don't win an Olympic by not getting a great coach. So you can get your MBA with me, mentored by Arvee. All right. Okay, so that's it for tonight. We just made it on time. I had 1 minute to spare. Yippee! So our last class is next Tuesday, the 18th at 5:30 again. This time we're going to talk about how to fire up that speaking calendar, because even if you learn to speak, if you're not getting those speaking engagements, well, then you're not going to be able to practice speaking. Think of speaking as the vehicle to go wherever it is you want to go. But what fuels the vehicle are the speeches. So you must get the speeches. So it's all about how to get those speeches. I'm going to share with you a couple of ways that are new that you may not have thought about. So stay tuned. Come back next week. I love you all, and I love that you're here, and I'll see you next week. Mwah! Oh, yeah, I was going to bring somebody in. Oh, I did this great exit, and I was bringing somebody in. Well, that's the end of it for now, but I am going to bring a couple of people in. If you're here, I'm going to see if I can bring you in. So, Paul, I'm going to bring you in. Michael, I'm going to bring you in. So let me see if I can do that. Let me see if, oh, okay, I got you in, Paul. Did you start with video or not? Because you're blank. So write in the chat box. So let me see. I'm going to unmute you. All right. Okay, I'm going to make you a panelist here. Let me see how I can do this. All right. I don't do this often, but anyway, Paul, you're dark. Okay, let me see if I can bring Mike Alexander in. All right, so I'm going to allow. Oh, you know what? I know what it's. I know what I did wrong. Let me make you a panelist. That's what I did wrong. But you know what? I have to find you. Oh, there you go. I hear you, Michael, but let me see you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna promote you to a panelist. Promote to panelist. Now I'll be able to see you. Okay.
Something's happened.
There you go. Hi, Michael. Now, didn't you just move recently into my area? Didn't you, from Orange County or something? So where are you?
Fontana, but I'm moving back.
Why? You just got here.
Because it's too far away.
From what? It's very close to me.
From you? Yeah, but I see you on the webinar, wherever I am. But my singing group is down in Pasadena. A number of my friends are down to the Pasadena or Rosemead area.
Oh, that is far. That is.
And when I have to flying out of Ontario is expensive if you want to go to some of the local places. So.
Yeah, I always have to drive to LA because not all flights go out of here. Well, good to see.
As much as I love a motorcycle, there's too much wind to ride a motorcycle out there all the time.
That's Fontana especially. All right, so I'm going to bring in Paul again. You're still here, Mike, but let me see if I can bring multiple people in. All right, Paul, I don't see you. Where are you? Are you here? Ah, okay. Stay on and I'll bring you in, everyone. Oh yeah, Paul, you are a panelist now. So Mike, I'm gonna see if I can change you to attendee so I can see Paul. Okay, Paul, did you come in with a camera on? I guess not, because that's why I can't see you. Okay, and I can't even hear you. Unmute. Nope, it won't let me unmute you. Okay, okay, your mic and video are not on. Okay, well that makes sense then. Okay, so who else is with me? All right, who else would like to come in? All right, let me bring True in. All right, let me promote you to panelists and see you. Are you here? Okay, let me change to attendee. All right, True, we're unmuting you and no camera. Okay, so True doesn't have a camera either. All right, so does anybody want to come in? You tell me, does somebody want to come in and I'll bring you in? Somebody who has a camera and you can ask me questions. All right. Let me change True because True doesn't have a camera. Okay. Does anybody else want to come in? Okay. Well, then we will just end our call tonight. Thank you all again for coming on the call. We'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great, blessed week. And if there's anything I could do for you, you just give me a holler. All right? All right. Thank you, everyone. Remember, get out there and speak and always speak with passion. Good night. Good night. Let me end my recording. All right. Let me stop my share and I can end the recording. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.